Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving into something pretty awesome today.
This is going to be good.
We're talking about abundance, but not just any kind of abundance.
Right.
We're talking about God's abundance, straight from Genesis chapter 1.
Specifically verses 29 through 31.
You got it.
Yeah.
And we're looking at it through a Christian devotional lens.
Interesting perspective.
I know, right? It's pretty fascinating how this whole idea ties together, like our physical needs,
Yeah.
our relationships with each other, even our responsibility for the planet, like all of it's woven together.
And it all comes back to this one idea that God provides.
Exactly. It's like he's got this grand plan for abundance that touches every part of our lives. We're even going to be unpacking some cool concepts like Jehovah Jireh.
Ooh, that's a powerful one.
And then there's stewardship.
Yeah, stewardship. That's something that really resonates with me. It's about taking care of what we've been given.
Right, because when you truly understand the depth of God's provision, it kind of makes you want to step up and be responsible,
It's almost like a natural response, isn't it? You recognize the gift and you want to honor it.
Totally. So let's jump right into Genesis. Picture yourself in the Garden of Eden right at the beginning.
Okay, I'm there.
So Genesis 1.2931, it describes this incredible scene.
What's it like?
God's providing all these plants and trees, not just for people, but for animals too. And get this, he looks at everything and says, "It is very good."
Very good, huh? There's something so powerful about those words. It's like more than just a passing grade,
I know. So what does it really mean?
Well, in the original Hebrew, the phrase very good, it doesn't just mean adequate or sufficient. It actually implies a state of complete and perfect harmony.
Whoa, so it's like everything is in perfect balance, right?
Exactly. It suggests this incredible interconnectedness between everything God created. And that includes us, too.
That's deep. So it's not just about having enough food on our plates.
No, it's way bigger than that.
It's about this deep sense of well-being that flows from, every aspect of creation being in sync.
The physical, the relational, the spiritual, all of it working together.
The devotional really hammers home this point about harmony, humans, creation, and God, we're all part of this intricate web.
And when one part of the web is damaged, the whole thing is affected.
That's a really powerful way to put it. Makes you think, doesn't it? Have you ever thought about how taking care of the environment is actually part of this bigger picture of God's provision?
Honestly, I hadn't really made that connection before, but now that you mention it, it makes so much sense. If we believe that God created everything and declared it very good, then shouldn't we be doing everything we can to preserve that goodness?
Exactly. That's where this whole idea of stewardship comes in. And it's not just about recycling or using less water.
It's about a fundamental shift in our mindset.
Right. It's about recognizing that we're not just consumers, we're caretakers of this incredible gift that God has given us.
It's like imagine you were given a priceless work of art. You wouldn't just throw it in the corner and forget about it. You'd cherish it, protect it, and make sure it was passed down for generations to enjoy.
Wow, that's a great analogy. And that brings to mind another powerful concept, Jehovah Jireh, which translates to the Lord who provides.
Yes, Jehovah Jireh, the one who sees our needs and meets them.
And the devotional points out how this idea of provision goes beyond just our basic needs.
Right.
It's about God's constant care and provision in every single area of our lives. I always think about the story of Hagar and Ishmael in the wilderness.
That's a powerful story.
They were completely lost, desperate. But then, boom, God provides a well of water, saving them. It just shows you God's provision reaches even to those who feel forgotten.
And sometimes that provision comes in ways we least expect. It might not always be the material thing we think we need. It might be a kind word from a stranger, a sudden burst of inspiration, or even a closed door that leads us down a new path.
Exactly. Sometimes it's not about what we get, but about what we learn and how we grow through the experience. It's about trusting that God is working, even when we can't see the whole picture.
And that trust is so important, especially when we're facing challenges or anxieties.
The devotional actually brings up a verse from Matthew chapter 6.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
Verses 25 through 34. Jesus is talking about how worrying doesn't solve anything. Instead, he tells us to trust in God's provision and focus on seeking his kingdom first.
It's a powerful reminder that when we put our faith in God, we can let go of the need to control everything. We can trust that he will provide for our needs, even if it's not in the way we expect.
And that leads us back to this whole idea of gratitude and stewardship. The devotional makes this really clear connection. When we recognize the abundance God has poured into our lives, it should naturally make us feel grateful.
And that gratitude should lead us to act as responsible stewards of what we've been given.
Exactly. So think about this. If we truly believe that everything we have is a gift from God, wouldn't that completely change how we approach consumption, how we use resources, how we relate to the natural world?
It would be a radical shift, wouldn't it? Imagine if we viewed every purchase, every decision through the lens of, am I honoring the gift of God's provision with this choice? It would change everything from the food we buy to the way we use energy.
That's the kind of transformation that's needed, right? It's about moving from a mindset of entitlement to a mindset of gratitude and responsibility. It's about recognizing that we are part of something much bigger than ourselves.
And when we live with that awareness, we can truly experience the fullness of God's abundant provision, not just for ourselves, but for the entire world.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today, folks, but I hope this deep dive has sparked some new thoughts and maybe even inspired some changes in your own life.
Yeah, keep exploring these ideas and see how they can impact your everyday choices.
As always, we've got the sources linked in the show notes, so be sure to check those out. And until next time, keep seeking God's abundance in every area of your life.
Grace and peace to you all.